Hey horse lovers, welcome back to Free Spirit Equestrian. So today we are officially going to ride Dodger. You did see a little sneak peek video of our ride after our groundwork session and color selection, and we're going to talk more about the color later. But yeah, so today we are officially going to ride. That was not planned. I'm going to show you some snippets from that ride, so here we go.
Just a little context, Dodger was purchased from an auction about 2 months ago. He's been in quarantine. I've been doing a ton of groundwork with him, and we finally are having our first ride at home. I did pop on him at the auction just for about 2 minutes, and he was okay. He didn't really want to move forward, but now I know that's because he wasn't feeling good and he was sick. He was awesome for mounting. He walked right off really quietly, but right away I noticed that he wanted to keep going to Kyle, and he was doing this on the lunge line earlier too, and he was starting to test me. And speaking to his previous leaser who leased him for 7 years about a year ago, said that he will test a new rider and that he's not naughty or anything, but that he definitely will see where he can go and what he can do. And a lot of this is just learned behavior and the horse just trying to go, towards Kyle because he wants attention or towards the other horses because they feel safe and secure. It's not necessarily him being like mean or anything like that. I truly don't believe that's within their nature. And of course, we always have to consider pain as well. Now, I do not think this was the case for Dodger. I truly believe that he was just trying to figure out what he was supposed to do and try to go towards Kyle. And you can see here, he's automatically trying to turn his shoulder into Kyle. And I'm lightly just using a little inside leg and asking with outside rein and moving him forward so that he understands just because he turns his shoulder and veers towards Kyle doesn't mean he's going to stop necessarily. So pretty much just keeping him forward, and that seemed to help quite a bit. He was wanting to kind of stop and turn in and turn his head. And again, I've had horses do this. This is all quote unquote normal things, and just seeing if we can work through them. Now, if I had ridden him quite a few times and he continued to do this, then I would definitely think pain. And that's of course always in the back of my mind, but you're going to see how our second ride goes today as well. So afterwards, it got a little bit better. He would still try to turn into Kyle. And again, I just kept keeping him forward when he would do that. So he didn't learn that the reward was to turn his shoulder in and stop and go towards Kyle or, whoever would be standing there or another horse, whatever the case may be. And that did get a little bit better. Again, he would try every so often, but I definitely think we made improvement even within the first, 15 minutes of riding. People often think just because a horse is, trained and they, look good at a sale, they think they're going to be wonderful when they get them home. And sometimes you just have to work through some things. Now, I think his energy is absolutely amazing. I feel comfortable on him, but at the same time, he definitely needs some work and he needs a rider who's going to hold him accountable and work through these things. And it's nothing big. I mean, this is absolutely nothing. I am not concerned in any way. And you can see once we started going, he just kept trying to go to Kyle and I just redirected him and kept him forward. And the second you did that, he started to understand.
All right, so now we're going to tack up. We're going to head to the outdoor arena. You can see he's up at the hitching post. He does not like being by the barn. There's something about it that freaks him out. But once he's, interacted with and he's out there and moving, he's way better. It's just initially at first, if he's up by the barn, he just gets a little stressed. But we're going to work through it. I know. It's okay, baby. So yeah, today I'm actually going to try a different Western saddle on him because I didn't like the black one when we were riding. So we're going to try this saddle. I have another one that might work for him if this one doesn't work for our ride today. Again, trial and error when it comes to figuring out saddles for new horses. But what we're going to do is groom, tack up, head to the outdoor, do a quick warm up and ride. Yeah, you're okay. It's actually super warm out today and sunny right now. So that's amazing. You're all right, Dodger. Yeah, it's okay, buddy. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay, baby. You're okay. It's okay. I know. You're okay.
The key to working through nervousness is to give the horses consistency, okay, to work with them and show them that this place is safe and to give them love and to work them through it instead of just ignore the problems, but doing it in baby steps.
The other pad was a little too short, so I'm using a longer one today, and this one's slightly thicker too. Good boy. Yeah, it's not so bad, I promise. You'll get used to it. Okay, so I'm going to try this saddle. It has a slightly wider gullet, but it has a different type of tree. And we're using a thicker pad, so I'm curious to see how this one does versus the black. Under saddle. Good boy. I know, baby. I know. It's okay.
And if you aren't aware of signs of nervousness, you can see a wide eye, like the white in the eye. The horse is moving around continuously. They're pooping. They're mouthy. Their ears are forward, but like looking around. And you can just see it in their body language. So just something to be aware of. You can see here, he just wants to move all over. And I just kind of stood with him. Okay, you can see there he's lifting his tail, wanting to poop because he's nervous. He's looking around. And you just got to be aware of these signs and make sure that you're paying attention while, you know, still engaging with the horse.
You're doing good, honey. It's okay. I know. You're going to be okay. You're going to be all right, baby. Good boy. It's okay. It's okay. I know, honey. You're okay. Good, easy. Good. I know. All right. I'm gonna grab his bitless bridle. We're gonna take him down to the ring and start working him. He definitely needs to move. Obviously, if he was continuing to act like this, and he might, then we won't end up riding today. But I know him, like once he gets going and moving, he calms down really quick. So we'll see how today goes. But once again, I'm not gonna do something and put myself at risk if he isn't in the mindset to ride. So we'll see how he does.
You can see how he's nervous walking by the barn, and we have all the feed buckets right there. And then the second that we walk away from the barn, he's completely fine. He calms down pretty quickly. And obviously there's something about the barn that makes him nervous. It could be the shadows. It could be not being able to plainly see all the other horses. It could be an association from his past, which he doesn't have the most wonderful past that we know of. So it could be anything. I know he'll get through it. And right now I'm just working with him solo, but you know, he will be with other horses at the hitching post and in the ring. But right now I need to just see how he is with just me. Okay, we need to work through that. And he needs to learn to like trust me, and we're going to build our bond and relationship. But see, it's not always a walk in the park, and it takes a lot of time. And again, I'm not the person that's just going to hop on and be like, yeah, hope everything goes well. I'm going to work through it meticulously, and I'm going to work through the holes that I see on the ground first.
So what we're going to do first is just hand walk him around, and then I'm going to lunge him. Now, obviously, it is wet out here, but it's good enough for walk trot and what we're going to do today. He's much better outside than inside, so I'd rather tackle this first. You know, working him the first few rides out here, especially because it's warm out, and you all know I like to ride outside. I'd rather work him out here and get him used to this before going back and forth, indoor, outdoor, indoor, outdoor. Now I'll do groundwork in both places and all of that, but I do plan to just ride him out here the first few rides and then go from there. You can see here, this behavior, sometimes he's wanting attention. Like right now he's starting to calm down, but that's also nervousness.
Hand walking horses is one of the most underrated things that I think you can do when it comes to training and boosting confidence, along with ground driving. It can have some really big payoffs, and I think it's wonderful to do.
I'm doing the pulls because it's number one, a good exercise physically, but also gets him thinking and focusing on where his feet is, and it gets him in a good mindset. The other reason why I decided to hand walk him first is so it gives him a little confidence boost before we lunge, because I'm right next to him, right? I want him to know that I give him comfort. That was good. Let's go ahead and put him on the lunge line. And I'm only gonna walk trot him on the lunge line because I don't want to increase any adrenaline at the canter. Sometimes that gets horses excited, which is wonderful, but we're not gonna canter today because of the footing. And just because he was nervous up there, I don't want to induce any more excitement. I want to keep it chill. Again, I do things in small steps. I don't give a crap if you can get on the horse, jump him 3 feet, gallop him the first time you ride him. I literally don't care about that. He is an auction horse who had a very interesting past, and I'm not gonna rush that. I want him to trust me. I'm in it for the long run, not the short haul. Let's go.
Now, when I'm lunging a horse, it is very rarely that I'm lunging them to tire them out or get all the energy out. Now, sometimes with a really young, spriteful horse, that may be the case in some conditions. However, with Dodger, it's more so just to get his feet moving. He's not going to get tired out by, a 10 to 20 minute warm up when we're just doing walk, trot, and in-hand exercises. But it will get him to focus, which in return will get him to calm down and focus on what we're doing and the task at hand, and to get him more mentally stimulated. And that will, again, affect him physically in a positive way as well. Now here, what I'm doing, I call this controlled wandering. So I'm not ground driving him, but I'm not lunging him either. I'm basically just walking him along the rail, but essentially driving him at the same time in a very soft way. And then we'll go ahead and move and do a circle and then go back to the rail. So this also boosts confidence. It helps him to go straight versus in circles all of the time. So this is an exercise I really like to do in between lunging and if I'm not actually ground driving. And you can really see just how more at ease Dodger is versus when he was at the hitching post. He's walking quiet, his eyes are softer, he's engaged, his ears are forward, but he's not, tense in his body. He's not looking all over the place. He really likes to move and do things, and I think that's phenomenal.
So we did a decent warm-up. I don't want to tire him out. I just wanted to get him moving a little bit. He seems curious but still calm. So we're going to put the bitless bridle on. I'm going to hand walk him for a second again, and then we're going to hop on. You're funny. What do you think? What do you think? Very interesting. You just want your mouth on something. That's fine. See, and I wouldn't be like, oh, stop. He's just trying to express himself through his mouth. So, obviously I don't want him doing that on my finger. Okay. I wanted to give you a treat. Is that okay? He said, yeah. All right, let's put your bitless bridle on, and we'll go from there. Our Auburn Classic bridle. So today I'm just going with pink. In regards to the color selection and the vote, there still hasn't been enough time to see what you guys actually decided when it came to color. So next ride, we will do the colors that you selected and go from there. But today we're just going with pink. I'm not saying this is the color I want. I honestly just think it's more neutral for him. So this is the one we're going with today. You ready? I know, you just want... What a good boy. What a good boy. Okay, I'm gonna tighten his cinch and put my helmet on, and then we'll walk around. Right. Wasn't too loose. Very good boy. Actually, I'm gonna walk around first, then put my helmet on.
So let's see if this ride is any better than our first ride and if he will test me again. I'm very curious to see if he's going to want to go to Kyle after we, sort of corrected some of that veering in the first ride, but he was still doing it a little bit. So I'm very interested to see how he's going to do today on our second ride. So here we go.
Good boy. Look at you. Are you so sweet? You're so sweet. Good job. All right. I'm just gonna sit here for a second, let him think. When you get on a horse, you don't always want it to be get on, sit, walk forward. It should be get on, sit a second, walk forward, get on, sit 10 seconds, sometimes a few minutes. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So you want it to be consistent, but not the same every single time, so they don't think get on, you sit, walk off. Because what if you're not ready? Are you sleeping now? We gotta go. He's like, actually, I was not gonna go. So obviously we're limited on what we can do because of the footing, but it's still okay for like walk, trot.
Once again, he was excellent for mounting. He walked off really quiet, so that's a really big deal in itself. Mounting a horse that gets nervous or takes off is actually really scary, so I'm glad we have no issues there. And so far, he actually seems more chill this ride. I mean, he was chill the last ride, but he just seems more focused, I guess is a better word. We walked right off. He didn't try to veer going this direction at all yet, and I just want to go ahead and see how he halts. He halted really well. He just seems very in tune today. So this is a really good sign considering it's our second ride. And to put this into perspective, this is 1 day apart. So the first ride was yesterday, our official ride's today, but technically the second ride at home. So this is just 1 day apart. So pretty crazy, like literally 24 hours. So I'm curious to see how he'll do at the trot and going in the opposite direction, because it was the opposite direction that he really wanted to veer in towards Kyle. So yeah, we'll see. What I like is that he is not a spooky horse. So even though he was nervous at the barn and at the hitching post, he's not spooky. That was just an unsettling environment for him. And even then, he wasn't doing anything absolutely crazy. But he's not spooky. Being spooky is my least favorite quality. Skittish and spooky under saddle. Anything else, whatever. But yeah, so that's good. Like, he didn't care about the car that just was behind us, like the neighbor or anything like that, or if Koa is out and the other horses, if they move around. So that is really good, because sometimes that can be a little nerve-wracking to work through, honestly. I'm just so happy with them so far.
So good. He's super light. I like how he carries himself and holds his head.
Dodger also did well walking in the opposite direction. So at the walk, he did not try to veer at all. So I'm just going to walk him in this direction, and then we're going to change rein and pick up the trot and see how he does. So fingers crossed that everything goes well. So far, I think he's a really good horse that just needs a tiny bit of time and some fine tuning, but his wonderful demeanor is already there. So far, he is not trying to veer much. The reason I keep clucking is because he is thinking about slowing down and stopping, but he's not trying to pull and turn in. So this is already an improvement. Much, much better. And obviously, like, the ring is super muddy, so he's trying to find his footing. So that is part of it too today. But he seems to go a lot straighter and he's more responsive to turning. So that is great. Okay, we're trotting the other way, which is the way he was veering really hard yesterday. So let's see how this goes. So I get him to the rail. I ask him to go straight. And oh my gosh, that was perfect. He just avoided a puddle right there and a dip. But he literally just went straight. He didn't try to veer towards Kyle at all. That was awesome. Today's ride is a huge improvement, and that's only one day apart. So just imagine, in a few weeks how he'll do.
Really good so far.
I'm just really glad that we purchased Dodger. I mean, not that he had some horrible, crazy, life or story, but he did have some interesting past, like in terms of being at the college, and apparently he was locked in a stall for months and he became aggressive in that situation. That was years ago. And then considering that he's just been all over the place like the last year, I'm just glad that he's here and that he's going to get the full attention that he really deserves. And he's going to be given a job and a purpose, but also love and care, which is exactly what this horse needs. He needs somebody to give him time and to understand him. And I think he needs to figure out what his purpose is here. I mean, he might be thinking, yeah, I'm probably only here temporarily. And eventually, yes, we will rehome them. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, well, it's sad because now he's bonded and attached to you. But at the same time, if I don't do this, if I don't eventually rehome my horses, I can't help horses like Dodger, like Belle, like, Mushu, and all the horses like Ariel, everybody out there. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing so good. Really happy with him. Like I said, he's the kind of horse that needs a job. He needs to do something to keep him mentally stimulated. Like, he's so kind and intelligent, and he's so fun to ride. His gaits are like butter, and they're very comfortable, at least walk trot. I'm sure his canter is great too. And yeah, he's very responsive, as you can see. The thing he likes to do is kind of veer, but it was a lot better today than it was the first ride. So huge improvement. He's definitely a horse that will test you, not in a nasty way, obviously, but in a way where you have to understand how to fine-tune your aids and get him back on track. Like, for example, if he veered and you just constantly let him come to the middle, or even one time, he might do that and it might be harder to get him out of that habit. Where if I feel him veering, it's okay if he's a little crooked. I just kind of redirect him with my leg and my rein and get him forward again, and then he's like, okay. So I think that's why he's better today than yesterday. And that's why, experienced versus inexperienced riders, it doesn't mean anybody's better than one another. It's just timing and feel. That's what it comes down to with horses like him. Like, he's a good horse. Like, I feel safe on him. But at the same time, like, he has some things to work out. Up at the barn being nervous and not being straight. And that just takes, like, time and balance and exercises and all that. So some conditioning. I do think he will be good for the program because he feels safe and he's not spooky and weird. so far, but he's also going to hold his riders accountable. Like if you don't ride him correctly, he might let you know. And I don't know, maybe if I was to get on and kick him and, you know, ride stupid, that he might react to that and not be so calm. Not that anybody would hopefully do that on purpose, but you know what I'm saying? Like if you do things too intense, like I'm just starting really soft and then building on that. And he seems to be very responsive to that. And again, I'm like rewarding him, stopping, giving him breaks, taking his whole training regimen slow. Oh, are you sleepy now? But look at this, once again, the difference between starting and now towards the end of the session. So you always want to end on a good note. So we're just going to walk around a little bit because I'm going to keep his sessions shorter, just so he understands like this is positive. And I'm not trying to run him into the ground, right? All right, can we walk a little? Good boy. No, we're not going to Kyle, like right there. See, he's trying to back up to go to Kyle. And I just redirected him. Good boy.
All right, so what do you think, horse lovers? Tell me your opinion on Dodger. I think he's a perfect amount of challenge where there's things to work through, but at the same time, he's not some wild, crazy, massive project. So I do like horses like this where we have to work through some things, but I still feel safe. He's not some bucking bronco. He's not a bolter. He doesn't do anything wrong. He's actually a pretty solid mount. He just knows some tricks and working through those. So super fun, actually.
Okay, so regarding the colors, like I said, in the next video that I ride him, we'll do all the colors that you picked, okay? And that'll be super fun, just something fun we can do. I think you look good in a lot of colors. Also, horse lovers, if you want to support Free Spirit Equestrian, you can order something off the Spirited Horse Boutique. We got the buckskin body care kit. This is the last time I'm gonna promote that because Dodger is doing so well and it's just something fun for him, but this is the last time you'll be able to get it. So yeah, just a fun way you can support us. And he's so cute with his pictures on it. Also, horse lovers, if you like Free Spirit Equestrian, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything Free Spirit Equestrian or any Dodger updates, and I'll see you next time. Bye. You say bye? You good boy? Good job! He looks good in this color. Do you like him in the auburn or would he look better in black?
Auburn.
Huh?
Auburn.
I don't know. Maybe we'll just get him 4 different saddles so they're each color and each bridle and he'd just be so cute. He'd just be so cute. Oh my gosh. He's adorable. You think he's pretty? Too. The golden buckskin. All right, let's go. Come on. You all done. You did so good. You did awesome. All right, bye.
$3 4,000 and 5,000 and 6,000 $6,000 $55 and another 6,000 and 6,000 6,800 and sold 6,600.